The Very Hungry Caterpillar is a story about a caterpillar who is eating his way through different vegetables and fruits and an array of ridiculous things before he makes his cocoon and becomes a butterfly. So there's some things in the story like he eats through 9 strawberries and 10 leaves or 4 apples. And so you could pick out 2 of those things and say, okay, let's compare what the caterpillar ate. He ate 4 apples and 10 leaves. Which is greater that he ate, leaves or apples? And they would understand, like, okay, 10 leaves is greater than 4 apples. And so you'd have them write a comparative number sentence about that. Mouse Went Out to Get a Snack is a story about a mouse who enters this kitchen and is eating through different types of foods in the kitchen. And he eats through a different number of each of these foods. So it would be easy to have students do something similar to The Very Hungry Caterpillar, where they compare, okay, the mouse ate 10 pieces of cheese and 3 pieces of bread. Which did he eat more of, the cheese or the bread? And then students would make a number sentence out of that, or they could just tell you and compare, and then you would have them explain, okay, well, which way does your symbol go if you're going to explain cheese compared to bread? And then you can ask them if that symbol switches if they compare bread to cheese, just so they understand that it does switch depending on what you write first. Counting in the Garden is all about counting different items in this person's garden, like different types of flowers and different little critters and different types of plants. And so you could just say, after like counting a few pages, okay, are there more flowers or are there more plants? Are there more bees or are there more caterpillars? And so you would just have students write comparative number sentences about the items found in the garden. And some items in the garden are the same, so that's a really good one to use for equal to. In the book 10 for Me, 2 friends are having a race of sorts to see who can catch the most butterflies. And so it is a great book to compare, okay, how many did this friend catch and how many did that friend catch? And did they catch the same amount in the end, which they do. They actually end up both catching 10 butterflies. So that's a really good one for equal to also. And it's good because page by page, the values of who has more and who has less changes. So students will get a lot of practice in flipping those signs. The Amazing Numbers in Animals' Lives Lifetime Book is a great book to use when teaching comparative number values because it talks about different animals and their different lifespans and other numbers that are involved in their lives. Like, for example, a sea turtle can live up to 100 years and a woodpecker can live up to 11 years. So you could read this book to students, pick out 2 numbers from 2 different animals and say, okay, write a number sentence about who lives longer, a sea turtle or a woodpecker. And so then if they wrote a sea turtle 100 years is greater than a woodpecker's 11 years, you would know that they understood comparing number values.